On Christmas Day 2018, my girlfriend and I took a trip to her parents' house. This was my first time meeting her family, and I was excited to meet them. Christmas is by far my favorite holiday, and I love the Christmas spirit. After spending 3 or 4 hours there, though, I was definitely getting anxious to leave. My social battery had been about completely drained. Sometimes it takes a lot out of me being around new people, especially if it's for a long period of time. I don't know why I'm like that, but I've been this way ever since I was just a small child. It's not that I don't like people or enjoy their company, I'm just a person that likes to keep to themselves, or maybe I should say I have a very select few amount of people that I love and interact with daily. I just wasn't used to being around so many new people and getting all of this attention. Right before we were about to leave, we quickly realized that over the 4 or 5 hours we spent there, we got lots of snow. I knew it was snowing, but I didn't think we were going to be hit with as much snow as we got hit with. There was easily an additional 3 to 5 inches of snow that was piled on top of the roads that were already in bad enough condition beforehand. My girlfriend and I lived just over an hour away from her parents' house, so with the roads being as dangerous as they were, we got settled in, and we pretty much had no other choice than to crash there for the night. The snow had no plans on slowing down anytime soon, and there was no way we were going to drive under those horrible conditions. My girlfriend seemed quite happy about staying the night, but me, on the other hand, I wasn't so psyched about it. I wasn't going to complain though. I was just happy I was under a safe and warm roof with my girlfriend. Plus I got to spend some more time with her family, and I really got to know her dad some more. We bonded over similar interests that we both had, like hunting and basketball, which I thought was pretty cool. Her parents were very nice and welcoming to me, and they prepared a great meal for myself and everyone else, which I was thankful for. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad after all. I couldn't have been more wrong to think that, though. It was getting late, and everybody was venturing off to bed. My girlfriend Grace got us some blankets, and we went to the spare bedroom that we were staying in for the night. We turned on a random horror movie, and she fell asleep less than halfway through the movie. I, on the other hand, wasn't tired at all. All of a sudden, I heard this weird noise that sounded like it came from outside. It almost sounded like smaller-sized tree branches were dragging across the bedroom window. I really didn't think a whole lot about it at first, but it definitely caught me off guard and raised my suspicion. I almost got up out of bed to try and take a look outside, but Grace was lying in my arms and I didn't want to wake her up for nothing. I think I just assumed that I was overthinking. A bit of time passed by and I was finally getting sleepy, but I really had to use the bathroom. I got up out of bed slowly and quietly as possible to ensure I didn't wake Grace up, and I did my business in the bathroom, and I lied back down in bed after. As I was drifting asleep, I heard this disturbing-like scream come from outside. It was loud enough to wake me up and startle me, but not enough to wake Grace up. I got up and I looked out the window, and I kid you not, I could see a person that was standing in the middle of the backyard looking at me. I wasn't so sure they could see me, but I didn't weigh it out as an option. I didn't really care anyways if they could see me or not, to tell the truth. My gut told me something was terribly wrong, though. You know when you get that gut feeling of dread? It's an unexplainable feeling, but that's how I felt. I tried to wake my girlfriend up, but she's a heavy sleeper, so after a few attempts, I gave up. Stupidly enough, I ran outside by myself to go and see what the hell was happening. And the person I saw only a few minutes ago was gone. They were completely out of sight. I then spotted the footsteps in the snow that looked like it led all the way to the shed in the backyard. I followed them cautiously, but quickly at the same time. Then I heard the scratching sound as I was approaching the shed. It almost sounded like the way a knife sounds when scraped against metal. But even so, I continued moving forward. As I got up closer to the front door of the shed, I noticed that it was cracked open. I opened it some more and peeked my head through ever so slowly, with my heart practically beating out of my chest now. And that's when I saw the most disturbing thing I will ever see in my entire life. That same man from earlier was standing right there, no more than 10 feet away from me. He had a sledgehammer in his hand and was approaching me now. I stood there in shock for probably a few seconds, but I screamed for help as loud as I could immediately. I started to run back to the house, and he began chasing me. When I turned around though, right before I got to the front door, he was out of sight. Almost like he vanished out of thin air. I didn't question it much, I was just ready to get the hell inside to safety. I ran upstairs in a panic to Grace, and I told her what happened. She started freaking out when I told her, even more than I was, and we woke her family up and told them as well about what happened. Thankfully they have cameras up surrounding the perimeter of the house, so Grace's dad played back the footage so they could see what we were talking about. Unfortunately, I didn't pick up the man's facial features at all, and it wasn't any help in identifying the man. I barely got a good look at him either. All I can really say is that he was average height, that he had medium-length black curly hair, and was creepy as fuck. For some reason, her parents didn't want me to call the police though, and I think they tried to convince me that it was some sort of prank and that we shouldn't be worried about it. I don't know how the hell they could believe that, but I thought that was pretty weird. Something about that didn't seem right to me. You would think that if someone was on your property with a weapon and they chased your daughter's boyfriend in the middle of the night, that something would probably kick in inside of you, that was definitely way more than just a silly prank. The guy was going to fucking kill me for Christ's sakes. I skipped out on going to Grace's parents' house every Christmas since. And I've been running out of excuses, but I really don't care to go back.